Somali terrorist group Al-Shabaab says it's holding what it describes as Kenyan prisoners of war following Friday's attack on a military base in southern Somalia. The Kenyan military says a search and rescue operation is underway in Somalia for Kenyan troops held captive by Al-Shabaab. Joining us now from Nairobi, Kenya is Sarah Kimani, who has the latest on the attack. Sarah, talk to us about the latest developments now.
Good morning, Leanne, from Nairobi. What we know now and the developments is that the search, rescue and recovery efforts for the Kenyan soldiers who are in El Ade at the time of the attack on Friday is underway, and it's continuing. Yesterday it bore some success because the Kenyan government was able to bring back home the bodies of 4 of those soldiers who were killed, and it also brought 16 soldiers who were injured in the morning. The Defense Secretary, Rachel Mam, was saying that effort will continue for the better part of the week, but cautioning patients, saying that this is a complicated and very dangerous affair, partly because of the terrain. It's a very harsh terrain. Al-Shabaab militants are also said to be still within the area, and the fact that the communication network in the area is very poor.
Al-Shabaab say that about 100 Kenyan troops were killed. What's the official number that you have?
Well, the Kenyan government is yet to give any number, saying that they can only give those numbers once they're done with the operation to rescue and recover the bodies of the slain soldiers. However, what we know about the Al-Shabaab militants is that they're used to exaggerating or giving figures that are a bit higher than the official figures. Also, one of the reasons why it may take long for Kenyans or indeed people to know the number of people or the number of casualties from this particular attack is because we understand some of them are being held hostage. We also understand that some of them are actually walking towards the border with Kenya after they managed to escape from the camps, the military bases which were attacked on Friday.
Yeah, I'm reading a comment from the chief of Kenya's defense forces that he made this comment on Sunday, Samson Matete, saying that the Kenyan soldiers would be ruthless in their retaliatory attacks. This is very aggressive words and I suppose defense mechanisms coming from them. Talk to us a little bit more about this.
Yes, indeed. What happened is immediately after the attacks and the Al-Shabaab militants overran the camp, the Kenyan Defense Forces sent in jet fighters. Initially, they were not able to access the area, but we understand that since yesterday, they have managed to access the area, and they have been bombing the hideouts of Al-Shabaab, managing to kill some, as they have said. We do not have confirmation of that, and they say that they will continue now with ground operations to ensure that they rescue some of those who are held hostage or some of those who are still within the military bases. They have also extended their fighting around the environs of El Ade and the Gedo region in southern Somalia.
Yeah, I know that there's still the search and rescue effort that is going on. It was initially for 48 hours. It's moved on for 72 hours. I imagine that this is going to be an ongoing mission at this point.
It is an ongoing mission, and what the Kenya Defense Forces has done, because anxiety is growing among members of the family, among Kenyans of goodwill, and just people who want to know exactly what is happening. So yesterday evening, the Kenya Defense Forces gave out 4 numbers so that members of the families of the Kenya Defense Forces soldiers who are in Somalia at the time of the attack can call and find out if their relatives have been found or if they are in hospital, because there are some who are in hospital just on the border of Kenya and Somalia. There's an army hospital there, but this is going to take some time, like the Defense Secretary cautioned. But she's also asking for patience, saying they want to ensure that every soldier that was in Somalia is accounted for.
Yeah. At the time when it did happen, I know that some of the injured soldiers in the attack were not even allowed to be interviewed by journalists, and they were held, I suppose, in protection so that information couldn't get out. Other information coming saying that some of the military are actually being used as human shields, and it seems to be a very precarious situation. In terms of getting more information out from these soldiers, has this happened? Has they spoken?
Well, all the information that we are getting as journalists here in Kenya is coming from the Defense Secretary, Rachel Mamo, and the Chief of the Defense Forces, Mr. Samson Wadede. One of the reasons they are doing that is so that they are able to control the information that gets out. As you said, it's a complicated affair. And as protocol has it here, the junior officers are not allowed to speak to the media even in normal circumstances. However, yesterday the Al-Shabaab militants released 2 audio clips, which they say are of 2 soldiers who are being held hostage. One of them says from the clip that he's 50 years old. The other one says he's 30 years old. And they say they're being held hostage by the Al-Shabaab militants. And they were held hostage immediately after the attack. And they're asking the Kenyan government and the African Union to withdraw the Kenyan troops from Somalia so that they can be released. We still cannot be able to authenticate whether that audio is actually from these soldiers and whether actually it is genuinely from Kenyan soldiers being held hostage.
Yeah, all right. Sarah Kimani, thank you very, very much for talking to us about this this devastating story that's unfolding in Kenya as we speak. Sarah updating us there, based in Nairobi. But the hashtag that really was trending throughout Kenya over this last weekend was I Stand With KDF, one of the top 10 most commented on topics, expressing solidarity with KDF after what happened during that attack.